Welcome to One True Champion. Kristen Keith alongside Big 12 insider Wendell Barnhouse. It's an exciting time in the Big 12 as 5 sports saw action this past weekend. Men's and women's basketball are wrapping up exhibition play, while soccer had their championship, and yet again West Virginia wins the postseason title. But we start out today talking about the same thing that everybody else is, and that's football. There's now a 3-way league tie for the trophy, and the Big 12 was shook up yet again this weekend.
That's right, Kristen. Defending champion Baylor did something it had never done, winning at Oklahoma. The Bears rallied from a 14-3 deficit by scoring 45 consecutive points, and along the way they converted all 4 of their tries on 4th down. Now, it shows Art Briles and his team plays to win. This season, Baylor is making over 75% of its 4th down tries, and it's not just a handful. They've gone for it 30 times and made it 23 times. And the top 10 battle in Fort Worth turned out to be a decisive victory for TCU. Trevon Boykin accounted for 4 touchdowns, had 342 yards in total offense, and he provided a Heisman highlight with this forward roll flip into the end zone to cap a 19-yard TD run. Now, the Frogs sliced through K-State's run defense for 334 yards on the ground. Now, against Oklahoma and Auburn, the Wildcats allowed a total of 326 rushing yards.
Art Briles said that was the most complete game that Baylor's played all season. But despite losing to the Bears, Oklahoma quarterback Trevor Knight walks away with one of our favorite video highlights of the weekend.
Right. Knight showed some pretty impressive vertical on this play. As you can see, Baylor defensive back Terrell Burke comes off his man in pass coverage and gets ready to tackle a scrambling Knight, and then whoosh, he's not there anymore. And Texas got to within 1 victory of bowl eligibility by knocking off West Virginia. The Longhorns celebrated by letting Coach Charlie Strong body surf in the locker room, and Quandre Diggs had one of my favorite quotes of the year, saying, "He's a heavy little fella."
I was in Kansas City this past week for the Big 12 Soccer Championship, and as we mentioned earlier, West Virginia continued their dominance of women's soccer.
That's right. For the 4th consecutive year, the Mountaineers won the regular season and postseason championships. Sunday at Swope Park in Kansas City, West Virginia edged Oklahoma, a team that was picked to finish last in the preseason, by a 1-0 score. There were 3 upsets in Wednesday's quarterfinals, and both semifinals were decided by penalty kicks.
That's it for today. Later in the week, in addition to our football preview, we'll talk about the start of basketball season and give you a look at the Big 12 teams in this year's NCAA Women's Soccer Championship. Until next time, Kristen Keith, Wendell Barnhouse, thanks for watching One True Champion.